We have tons of videos showing you how you can make money wholesaling in Canada. Today, we're going to be walking through a property where we're set to make $40,000 on the assignment fee.
This is a legal fullplex in Brantford, Ontario, so we're going to actually see if this is a solid deal.
The property doesn't need a lot exterior-wise. If you are looking to resell this, then obviously you could do things like painting it, the railing. You could also do things with the landscaping here. Since like the end users here are looking to rent it out, there's not really too much that you should be doing.
You know what? Every time I see this, I feel like it's a shame because you kind of block out some natural lights here. But actually pretty easy to open that up and allow some natural lights coming in.
Here we have the meters for the 4 separate units here.
Usually when we see 4 meters, 1 meter usually means that it's for the common area. The landlord does need to pay for this one. The other 3 are being paid by the tenants, but this also tells me that even though there's 4 legal units, 2 units are sharing 1 meter.
Basically, with this property, this is the main entrance here. It needs a lot of work, as you can see. A little background, the owner needs to actually sell his property. He didn't want to wait it on market to sell the funds because he is currently running out of money, wanting to go off market. We're going to have 2 separate units here.
This is just the entrance then.
This would have been the main entrance here, and then obviously there's 1 unit here and there's 1 unit over here.
It's a pretty epic entrance. Well, upstairs units.
The chandelier.
So by the way, Daniel, is this one the entire unit or there's 2 separate units? Because I see 2 doors here.
This is 1 unit here and this is the 2nd unit. So the main entrance has been blocked off. One of it is currently tenanted, but we'll basically be able to break down these units in here. First unit, as you can see here, the living space or the kitchen area. And then we have 1 bedroom over there, another bedroom right over here. Pretty trashed.
But you know what? One thing that I do like about this one is that all the plumbing is actually here already. You get to see the washroom is going to be here. And it's actually kind of nice because the other unit's washroom is right beside it, which means you don't have to reconnect a lot of like plumbing, electric, everything is here. And you're going to be putting the small kitchenette right here, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, all the stuff is already there to just put the kitchen in here. It's pretty similar to the other unit as well.
By the way, I like that the exhaust thing is already here. The sub panel is here already, which I'm interested seeing whether or not the other unit has a sub panel as well.
So walking into the 2nd, it's pretty symmetrical as you can see, but obviously the biggest difference is there's not another bedroom here. So it's just bedroom over here, living space. We already got the plumbing in here, so the bathroom as well. Place is dumb.
I like that the sub panel is right here, which means every unit, the tenants get to control their own breaker if anything trips. I like that everything's running through the same system. So even for this one, right? Pretty sure this goes out either this way or connected to the other units and then just kind of pumping out. One thing that I like about this unit is that whatever the next buyer wants to do is very easy. The kitchen size, the bathroom size are all identical. So they just need to like bring in 2 sets of kitchen, 2 sets of bathrooms, and they can literally finish the 2 units at once. Kind of walk me through the numbers here. If anybody wants to kind of take on this project, how much should they budget for the renovation?
We're estimating around like $30 to $40 per square foot. Each unit, we could probably get it down to like 20 to 25,000 per unit itself.
Based on my experience, I do feel like you can probably get it done with that 40 to 45K appliances included.
Yeah.
Should people budget about the HVAC system? How does the central AC work here?
Since right now it's operating with a boiler system, obviously there's a piece on the ground. What would be sufficient enough, especially for the small units, we can just put a window AC here.
Changing the boiler system into HVAC, all of a sudden you need to be running the vent. It's going to be way too much cost. So it's much better to just get a window AC in here. Plus we're going to put the hydro cost back to the tenants anyway. How much did you secure this one for and how much are you hoping to wholesale?
So we actually secured this under contract for $640 and we're looking to wholesale it for $680.
I'm pretty familiar with this market and I know that fourplex in here, at least people will be asking for $800K. How did you get that down to $640?
First of all, it was obviously the distress of the seller, but as you can see, we're staring at the condition of the property itself. Was not too hesitant to give us the price that we agreed on.
And how long did the whole negotiation process take?
From the day we actually contacted the seller, it took around like 30 days to actually get the number down because there's a lot of stuff that we have to go through as well. Look at the property first, go through a series of negotiations.
And I'm pretty sure that they have this unit vacant for a while, right? Just based on the look of it and based on our conversation with the neighbors and even the main floor tenants. So I'm pretty sure the carrying costs I really start chewing into their margin.
There's no rents for like the 3 units that are vacant right now, but there is 1 tenant currently living.
Wow, they're definitely bleeding some money. Have you spoke to them why they haven't actually done any renovation and tried to turn this into a working unit?
The budget was too high for the seller and they were in a situation where they needed to sell.
Help the audience understand, how did you actually find this seller?
So we actually used like a B2B approach. Most commonly people go to a B2C where they go directly with the seller, but we often find that we're able to kind of leverage other businesses, so whether it be agents, property managers, anyone who really is in the real estate field, we we can really leverage their connections. So we actually found this through a property manager.
It's very interesting because sometimes when we know that a landlord is in a very difficult financial position, right, and they need to liquidate property as soon as possible, usually they don't go straight to the agent because they are trying to save the commission. In this case, they have the property manager on site. The property manager actually understands that they're not in the financial position to actually fully turn around the units and try to stabilize the property. In this case, you kind of leverage the relationship with the property manager, get that first-hand information, and then try to get yourself in front of the seller this way.
When you are going directly to the seller without anyone in the middle, the trust isn't there. And since we're like in a relational business, people want to be transactional and put offensive lowball offers on people. But the thing is, when we found this property, the seller already knew who the property manager was. They already had that established relationship. So it's very easy to kind of bridge that gap with the seller.
You secure this one for 640, you're hoping to wholesale to 680. Are you having a lot of buyers that can actually take on this project at this moment?
We actually do have a few members in Property Hustles group. They are looking for multifamily investing. Since it is like such a hot topic right now, I wouldn't say it's like impossible to find buyers. Yes, like the barrier of entry is a lot higher.
So you already got a few interested parties that want to actually take this off. Walk me through what kind of ARV that you're projecting for them. Because again, like when you're doing the buyer package, it's really important to actually establish the business plan for the buyer to make sure that they understand the number can actually work on their end.
With the renovation costs that we kind of talked about earlier, we're conservatively saying that this could sell for around 940, just considering market conditions, the condition of the property, and other comps in the area. We're really trying to make it as conservative as possible because the last thing we want to do is overestimate it.
So in terms of renovation, we kind of budgeted for about 40 to 45K for the entire units here. I know there's another unit that we need to turn around, which kind of add up additional, let's say 25 to 30K. Appliances included, if we run up the renovation budget to be, let's say 80K plus all the carrying costs that the new buyer need to kind of carry, adds up another 20K, right, for 6 to 8 months period, which I know most of the time you won't need to take that loan to actually complete your units. But let's just say the renovation budget is going to be 100K. If you purchase at 680 plus additional 100K, that's like 780. And if the ARV is 940, according to what you said, we can run down that number a little bit just to make the number a little bit more conservative for the buyer. That's 900K. So from 780 to 900K, there's still 120K equity that people can pull back. The number definitely does make sense. And if the market starts shifting to different direction as the interest rates are dropping, hopefully mid next year, then maybe this building can be selling for, let's say, $1 million mark.
Exactly.
And that will essentially be 220K equity just by taking this deal off.